Nearly all the ingredients are exactly the same. The only difference is you're going to need a little food coloring for your frosting to make it look like Mardi Gras.
Here are the ingredients that you'll need for the dough: 5½ cups of flour, a tablespoon of yeast, a teaspoon of salt, 1/2 cup of sugar, 2 eggs at room temperature, 1/3 cup of melted butter, and a cup of milk. Warm your milk to 115 degrees, add the yeast, and then sprinkle a little sugar on top. Let the yeast mixture sit for a few minutes, then add it to the bottom of your mixing bowl. Add the eggs, the butter, the salt, and the sugar, and then turn on the mixer. Then start to add the flour, about a cup at a time, until you have about a cup of flour left. Then you need to let the mixture rest for a few minutes. After about 5 minutes, go ahead and add the rest of the flour. Turn on your mixer until you end up with a nice dough ball, and you can either knead it for 5 to 7 minutes, or you can let the mixer continue for that amount of time. When you're done kneading, take your bowl, put a little bit of vegetable oil in the bottom, and then put your dough in there, turning it around until it's well coated, then cover it and put it in a nice warm place. While the dough is rising, make your filling. Take a cup of brown sugar, a 1/4 cup of white sugar, 2 tablespoons of cinnamon, and a stick of butter. Warm the butter until it's almost melted, then add the sugars and cinnamon and stir until mixed. Once the dough is risen, put it on a well-floured surface and roll it out into a rectangle about a 1/2 inch thick. Spread your filling evenly all over the dough. Instead of rolling up the entire tube like we did with the cinnamon rolls, we're going to cut the dough into 3 separate strips and roll those. Then you'll take the 3 tubes and braid them together. Continue passing the outer tube over the middle, left and right, until you're done. Shape your braided dough into a ring like a king cake. Cover it and let it rise in a warm place for 45 minutes or until it doubles in size. Heat your oven to 375. Take a 1/2 cup of whipping cream and soak the king cake. Don't worry about some spilling and sitting on the parchment paper. That's actually some of the good stuff. Stick it in the oven for about 20 to 25 minutes. Now it's time to make the frosting. Take 1½ cups of powdered sugar, 1/3 cup of softened butter, 6 ounces of cream cheese, and a tablespoon of vanilla. You can cream that together well and even add a few tablespoons of heavy cream if you want. Then divide it into 3 bowls. Use the food coloring to make your purple, green, and gold. Let the king cake cool, then put the frosting on. You can either spoon it or pipe it on, whatever you like to do. Happy Mardi Gras. For Acadiana's News Channel, I'm Dave Baker.